The New England Air Museum, FlightSimCon 2016, and AirDailyX.net. I am joined by Damien of Hifi Simulations. Hi-Fi, excuse me. And Damien, give me an idea. How long has Hifi been around? Because I remember using some of your products back in FS9, I believe, way back in the day. And of course, I cannot fly at all without using the weather program. Even if I don't like the current weather, I'll use the like the data program in there where you can go in and use weather from historical data. I cannot fly without it. And the way you guys transform the simulation is just incredible. So just give me a little bit of an idea of kind of what led you to found Hifi and your first product.
Sure. So let's go back to about year 2000, roughly about then. I believe we were back in the FS 2000 days. I believe that was the product. I was in instrument rating training for extending my private pilot certificate to get my instrument rating, and I found value in desktop flight simulation. There was a tremendous value in practicing procedures, and used to use whatever sim I could. There was a combination of sims available back then. We had Microsoft's version. There was a terminal reality simulator back called Fly. That's where I kind of got my feet wet in development. Started doing some aircraft work. I actually worked with PMDG at some time, doing 757 and 767 aircraft, and that got me started in development on sims. And shortly after that, I believe 2002, if it was, there was the new FS version, and I really liked the platform, and I wanted to see better weather, especially when it pertained to instrument conditions and being able to practice those procedures. There were a few solutions available, but it was very sparse, and I said, what the heck, let me see what I can do here. And my background is in IT and programming, so with my aviation background, I figured, okay, maybe I can put all this together, and spent the next year developing a basic weather package and released that as the first Active Sky.
Wow.
I believe it was 2002, and it was freeware. It started that way. And it was pretty basic, but pretty cool. And then shortly after, people seemed to really enjoy it. It kind of caught on, and started getting tons of requests for, can you do this, can you do that? And I was loving what I was doing, and extending it. It became a very challenging job to do all the things everyone and myself wanted to do. So it went on from there. We released the first payware version shortly after that. That was Active Sky WXRE, and we've had many major revisions since then, and here we are now with Active Sky 16. This is our 16th year.
Now, you've put up this really interesting video recently that's got a lot of people going crazy. So tell us, what's coming next in the future?
All right, so we have two new products. Active Sky 16 is the next generation weather simulation engine. It supersedes Active Sky Next.
Which I love.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
I love it.
Thank you. So it builds upon the fundamental breakthroughs that Active Sky Next brought. Tons of incremental changes, suggestions that have been implemented. Users are very vocal about what they'd like to see, and we appreciate that feedback. We use that to help guide us, and we've implemented hundreds of little things, but we also have a few dozen really big features, some of it which we're revealing during FSCon, and one of those is a brand new mapping system, which is pretty cool. People said that the mapping system is nice, but it needs a facelift, so we spent some time. We've got some new vector background overlay options, some new overlay options for stations. We've also incorporated Navigraph data integration. So nav aids and fixes are now integrated. You get some more up-to-date data, and if you have a Navigraph subscription, you can keep that up to date.
Which we all have.
Of course. So we also have an in-cloud motion effect with Active Sky 16. So now you can get the sensation of speed as you're flying through clouds. It's been another popular request by our users. So you're entering a cumulus cloud or skirting the edge of it in real life, or coming through a layer. In real life, you're going to see a little bit of blanketing, wispy effect as you're transitioning, and something that I really enjoy when flying instrument in real clouds. It's one of the best experiences, and so we worked hard on providing that. We're able to do that. For both FSX and P3D, by the way, this works on either platform. There's two separate versions.
Right, yeah, I've always felt that when flying through the clouds in Flight Simulator, never really seems like you get that speed, because when you're high up, the ground's moving slow, it's far away, you don't get that concept of how fast you're going until you get into those layers.
Right.
And whereas some of the clouds kind of in the background a little bit more static, that wispiness that's blowing by is a lot faster, so you get a concept of that. So to be able to see that in Flight Simulator actually seems really interesting.
Yeah. And P3D has really improved things in that regard. I think we've all noticed those effects, so we've tried to take it even further. And again, like I said, it works for both FSX and P3D. A little bit differently the way it works for each one, but it's compatible with both. So beyond that, let's see, we've got a new airborne weather radar that's included.
Oh,
if you're
okay.
familiar with X-Gauge, it was an X-Rad or satellite-based mapping system that using a composite radar imagery. We had a lot of requests to bring airborne radar, similar to how our API has been providing realistic radar to PMDG aircraft, iFly aircraft, some of the other developers. So we brought that into X-Gauge, so you can use that in any aircraft. It's simply installing the gauge, and you now have two main modes. You can go into the NextRad satellite mode or into the airborne mode. So yeah, that's pretty exciting for us, and it works just like a real airborne radar. It has the same limitations. You use your tilt, your gain, your zoom, and it works separately from, like I said, you just switch the modes to go between the satellite mode and the airborne mode.
You guys are up to some pretty big things here.
Well, we've been working on it for a while now. You know, as when we finish a previous product, you know, we have a lot of ideas and things that we try to get in. Sometimes we have to cut things from the previous products to eventually finish it.
Right.
And we have new ideas that we haven't started, but we're always eager right after we release Active Sky Next, in this case, to start working on the next product. And in this case, we're always working on something. And as soon as we release AS16, we'll be working on the next big step. So it's always a constant progression.
And roughly how far away would you say we are now?
We're very close. We're delayed. We had hoped to actually release
There's
before
the effects.
the show.
I'm so sorry. I just saw that. That was incredible.
Yeah, go ahead and see. It should fade to a new scene here. There you go. This is P3D.
That is amazing. I love that. That's great.
And FSX works a little bit differently. They're kind of different flavors of effects to try to match the depiction logic, because P3D is different in its cloud.
I'm totally getting that. How far away are we?
We're close. We're hoping within a couple weeks.
A couple weeks?
We had hoped to release before the show, but we had some delays, so here we are presenting everything, and then we'll be releasing imminently.
I'll be first in line.
Excellent.
And talk about customer support dedication. You're here at FlightSimCon, and here we have customer support taking place right here at the booth.
We do.
I had to point that out because that's wonderful.
This is Dave Opper. He's our support manager, and he's answering tickets and trying to keep everyone happy, even though we're not available at the office.
Dave, what's the big ticket going on right now?
License resets.
There we go. That's amazing. Wonderful.
P5 updates for P3D.
And oh, that's right, the updates for prepared. Awesome. That's dedication.
As quick as we can.
That's dedication. Wonderful.
One thing I didn't get a chance to mention, besides AS16, we have a whole brand new other product, Active Sky Cloud Art, and that's Active Sky 2012, if you remember, a few years ago, had graphics. We took a departure from that.
That was my big Active Sky.
So we're bringing it back, but it's not integrated in the same product. They work together, but they're two separate products, and you can run them however you want. So if you have a graphics engine that you want to run, you can run AS16 with that. If you want our graphics, you can run that with it. They're very tightly integrated together. If you have another weather engine that you want to run, you can technically do that. So there's a lot of freedom and options available. But together, AS16 and ASCA bring out a brand new revolutionary feature we've been working on for a long time now, and that's real full-time texture dynamics.
Wow.
So you can be getting a literally infinite amount of variation. The textures will reload in the simulator in real time. You don't have to restart the sim. Weather conditions change, it sends a signal to ASCA, says, okay, we've gone from a convective type situation to a calmer, more stable air, something where you expect a softer, more stratus type look. It's going to switch it, and it can happen up to 99 times throughout the flight.
Wow.
Literally infinite.
And how far out will it start to make those changes?
Well, if you're familiar with the smooth theme reload feature that was debuted with ASN, we've done it similarly. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to update the texture. Now, in this demo, for example, it's instant because we're demonstrating the user-initiated change. You can change the themes instantly. It takes 20 seconds, reloads instantly in your sim. But during an actual flight in an automated mode, you wouldn't want that to instantly switch, of course. So we smooth it out. It takes 5 to 10 minutes. It's actually very hard to notice the change.
And you just naturally fly right into it.
So you just see new variation, and it looks very cool. Another thing is our high latitude cloud fix we didn't talk about, but north of 50 degrees or south of 50 degrees.
Thank God.
Clouds tend to be squished, so we've worked really hard to stretch that out, and that's a feature of AS16.
I hate that, and it's funny because a lot of developers are working in this region now. A lot of stuff in Norway, we're seeing stuff in Greenland, and you get these weird clouds, and you guys have fixed that.
Yes, we have.
That's amazing. I'm glad someone finally addressed that. I was thinking, is Lockheed, when are they going to release an update? But we can't always rely on them.
Yeah, it's a limitation in the way the weather cells are depicted. They base upon the lines of latitude and longitude. So the cell depiction area changes, so it took some creative tricks to get that to work, but we were able to manage. So yeah.
Well, that's
we
amazing.
also have brand new 3D cloud models, completely transforming the entire 3D structures of the clouds.
I can see the differences already.
Yeah,
I
so
mean, it looks
I
incredible.
could go on and on with features,
Yes.
but I know we have to. It will be released soon, and we will have a live trial. We took a
Yeah.
risk kind of going to the trial originally with ASN. We weren't sure how it was going to pan out, but it's been very well received, and we'll plan on continuing to do that. in the
Please
future.
do.
Yeah, absolutely. Give you a chance to try it without any risk involved at all.
Well, thank you for doing that, Damien. Great stuff going on here at Hi-Fi. Thanks for coming out to
Thank you.
FlightSimCon,
Appreciate
and I
it.
hope to see you again next year.
Absolutely. Plan on being here. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Great news.
Thanks.